Battlefront 2 came out in 2017. I lived in a rental home and I beat the incredibly predictable campaign in a day. I was so frustrated that you played as the bad guys, the Imperials, and then you just ended up the good guy by the end. I'm like, come on. Let me be the bad guy. Welcome to That Dude 2, where I just talk about random things on my brain and things I like. So Battlefront 2 is on the rise again, which feels almost seemingly out of nowhere. But there's definitely a lot of reasons for this. Like, the player count has absolutely exploded, and it's actually really surprising to me. But what makes me so shocked about this resurgence is how Battlefront 2 launched all those years ago. It had a cyberpunk level bad launch when it comes to treating the fans. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you don't remember, it was kind of paid to win. And the system was pretty wild. Before the game was released all those years ago, the developers actually said that there would be no paid DLC, which the internet rejoiced. But Electronic Arts decided to be Electronic Arts. They immediately implemented a loot crate system, which has completely plagued the gaming industry, especially in the Counter-Strike community. Actually, Nakey Jakey just did this amazing documentary about kind of his life playing Counter-Strike and the ethics of loot crate systems or skins or buying things like that. But when you get into loot crates, you get into the topic of pay to win and arguably gambling. And if it was just cosmetics like skins, I don't really think I would care at all. Like, seriously, who cares? People made a choice, they saw something they liked, it was a product, and it's just for fun. That's fine. I mean, Call of Duty has some of the stupidest skins in the world now, and people still pay for them. I really wish Call of Duty would go back to being, you know, the military. I love Ninja Turtles just as much, but God, it's so weird seeing them in Warzone. But when the loot crates came out, they weren't just cosmetics. They were also player traits, as in essentially power-ups. For each character, they would have better traits if you open them in these loot boxes, which you could save up in-game credits, which would take forever, or you could pay real money to buy crystals to buy these loot crates. So in an indirect way, with the star cards, the star card system, you could basically pay to win. Especially in the early game, you could either grind for 40 hours to unlock your favorite characters, or you could just sacrifice a few of your shifts at work to be better at the game immediately. And of course people chose that, you know? It's the entire reason why GTA 5 is still around. The shark card system, right? Oh, I haven't played GTA in a while and I'm super behind in everything and I don't have those vehicles that I need to keep up with my friends. I'll just pay $5 and I'll be right as rain, right? So, thankfully, the world responded to this and basically said, nuh-uh, like, we're not doing this. The power of Reddit and the power of the internet and even mainstream news came along and said, yeah, no, this feels a little fishy. I don't think this is right. And even countries in Europe started to debate if this was actually gambling, not just with Battlefront, but also loot boxes in general. And with EA having their hands on, arguably at the time at least, before Disney really messed things up with the Star Wars canon, they had the most popular IP in entertainment history, and they were pretty much abusing it. They're like, people like Star Wars, they like Luke Skywalker, they like Vader, they'll pay it. And unfortunately, they were kind of right. So in the most simplistic way possible, they made some tweaks, they made the game better, and it was a lot more fun to play. And it was actually just more playable in general. You didn't feel like it was so far out of reach to play as the heroes and play all the cool stuff and have upgraded people. It was actually a playable game where you didn't feel like you were just getting annihilated the whole time. I remember somebody asking me during lockdown to play Battlefront 2, and I'm like, I don't know, man. That's in my rear view mirror, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And they're like, nah, it's really good now, I promise. And they were right. I had a great time, but that was kind of the end of it, right? And most people, I feel like, had moved on to other games by then. But there's been a massive resurgence, and the player count is through the roof right now. And Battlefront is another example that just shows how important the launch of your game is. Because that reputation, even if they fixed it, that's the reputation, right? People are like, that game, I don't know. It only took almost 10 years ago for people to play it again. And Battlefront 1 is being appreciated for its graphics right now, even though that game had basically no content in it compared to older games. I'm a huge fan of Cyberpunk 2077. I love Phantom Liberty. I love that game, but a bunch of my friends will not give it a chance because of their experience they had at launch. But thankfully, Battlefront 2, it's getting this treatment again where people go, oh, you know what? There is a good game in here. So that's really neat. Obviously, Andor probably had a huge part of this because that show, slow burn of a show, but I think it's wonderful. I loved it. I loved the ending. I just finished it. So I think a lot of people are kind of itching for more high quality Star Wars content, and that's really cool. Battlefront 2 finally got its dance, right? It has a huge player count. People are really loving it. I think that's just really neat. Just something from so long ago just exploding in popularity. It's amazing. It just shows that pulp culture can turn things around pretty quickly, especially when you make a high quality TV show like Andor. So hopefully there's a Battlefront 3, right? That's what I'm hoping for, but if you really want a good Battlefront game, it's the old LucasArts ones where there was so much content on one disc that a modern developer would be like, no, that's not possible. They just don't make them like they used to. Now, if only they could get a Jedi Outcast TV show in the tone of Andor. That's what I want, but it's probably never gonna happen because Disney decanonized the entire thing. But just please listen. Please listen to everyone, please. Honestly, this video, super simple. I'm just curious of what you guys think too. Are you stoked that games are kind of getting revived from almost a decade ago? Put it down in the comment section below. And on that note, quick little video for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.